Hi, my name is Ed Boone. I'm the co-creator of the original Mortal Kombat and the project lead for Mortal Kombat Deception. I'd like to walk you through Mortal Kombat Deception, talk about some of the new features and modes that we put into the game. Fighting games that are fortunate enough to have warranted sequels always seem to take the expected path for each version. Our overall objective with Mortal Kombat Deception was to do the unexpected. We wanted to redefine what a fighting game is. More specifically, we wanted to redefine what Mortal Kombat is. The way we achieve this is through the content. Lots in terms of content. One of the first things you'll notice when you look at our mode select screen is the variety of gameplay modes that are in Mortal Kombat Deception. Mortal Kombat is much more than just a fighting game. It's a board game, a puzzle game, it's an adventure game, and it's all online for both PlayStation 2 and Xbox Live. One of the first new things you'll notice when playing the fighting game are the subtle lights that we've added to the power bars. We call them fight state indicators, and we put them there to give players insight to the nuances of our fighting engine. As you're playing Mortal Kombat, your fighter goes through a variety of states. By observing these lights and how they reveal these states, players will be able to pick up on when the best time is to strike, avoid, or even send their opponents to their doom with an instant kill. One area we've really expanded on in the fighting game is in the design and function of our backgrounds. From the beginning, our goal was to make the backgrounds in Mortal Kombat Deception as influential to the outcome of a battle as the characters that were chosen. Deception's backgrounds are all different sizes. Some have multiple levels, some hold weapons for players to use, or contain a new feature we call the Death Trap. This background is called the Sky Temple, and is a good example of the interaction the backgrounds have to the actual fighting. The fighting starts on the roof of a giant skyscraper of sorts. There's a very powerful warhammer in the middle of the arena that players can grab and use against their opponents. Here's another example of one of our multi-level arenas. As you can see Sub-Zero knocking Sindel off the edge of the roof, and the battle continues on a level a few stories below. This level is one of our favorites. It's called the Slaughterhouse, and it has just about every new background feature in it. You start off fighting on the top floor, and located directly below is another arena where all the good stuff is. As you can see, Nightwolf has just lured Mileena into an area where there's not only a weapon, but one of our death traps called the Meat Grinder. You might have noticed some recognizable characters fighting, as there are many returning favorites in Deception. Many of them are classics from Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, like Baraka, Mileena, Nightwolf, Sindel, and Kabal. These characters all have their signature moves. Players can knock their opponents into this meat grinder, instantly winning the match and shredding them into a million pieces. Here we have one of our most interactive backgrounds, the belly of the Nether ship from Deadly Alliance. In a second, you'll see what makes this background so interactive. You can see, as Kenshi is knocked down to the lower level, that there are a number of bodies hanging from the rafters. These bodies are fully interactive with the fight, and you can use them to your advantage or to your opponent's disadvantage. Notice how they swing back and forth and can actually knock down the fighters. Again, our goal here was to make the backgrounds as influential to the outcome of the battle as the characters that are chosen. Conquest Adventures is a massive expansion of the Conquest mode in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This time, we are actually giving the player control of the Conquest character, letting him roam freely throughout the 6 realms. Conquest now adds a lot of exploration and experimenting to the training and fighting missions that players are expecting. During this journey, you will be collecting and earning coins, which are the currency used to unlock hidden features inside the crypt. You will also be interacting with the inhabitants of these realms, going on mini-missions, finding hidden items, as well as running into a number of Mortal Kombat characters from the past. You'll notice that there is a time and date that is running on the top right of the screen. Time passing plays a major role in Conquest, as you will begin the game controlling a character named Shujinko at age 13. He has no special moves and knows very little about Mortal Kombat. Throughout the journey, your character Shujinko will actually age as you gain experience. By the time you finish, he will be around 60 years old and will have acquired enough experience to earn him his fighting styles and special moves. After this, he will be unlocked and available in the fighting game. Additionally, the time and date play a critical role in the discovery of secrets in Conquest. Certain events will only happen at specific times and locations. If you are lucky enough to be in the area, you can unlock secrets that nobody else has discovered. For example, let's say you're standing in the middle of a forest at a certain time when some character jumps out from behind a tree and challenges you to Mortal Kombat. Defeating that character might reward you with coins, a key, or maybe even unlock a character or background. That particular character might only be available at 4 a.m. in the forest. Instead of waiting around for things to happen, players can actually accelerate time by meditating. The possibilities are endless when it comes to the amount that can be hidden throughout the 6 realms of conquest. Chess combat can be thought of as a hybrid of a number of classic board games and Mortal Kombat. Like chess, the goal is to kill your opponent's king before he kills yours. Each player takes turns strategically moving their pieces, positioning them for the kill. Unlike chess, however, when one piece tries to take a square from another, they have to play one round of Mortal Kombat to determine who wins the square. There are several different types of pieces on the MK chessboard. They differ in both their movement abilities as well as their strength during combat. The first piece is your basic grunt, which is like a pawn. Then you have your champion, the MK equivalent to a queen. A shifter is a piece that takes the form of his opponent during combat. A sorcerer can actually cast spells to help his own pieces or to harm the opposing pieces. These spells can do things like imprison, kill, resurrect, and teleport other pieces. Finally, you have your leader piece, which is the king, and this is the one piece you need to protect. You'll notice that there are 2 green glowing squares on the playfield. We call these power squares, and they are critical in your strategy for winning at MK Chess. Occupying a power square gives you an advantage during combat, and occupying both power squares gives you an even greater advantage. You don't want to let your opponent occupy both squares. The first thing you do when playing is to pick which Mortal Kombat characters you would like to play as each chess piece on the board. During the course of play, you will need to strategize an attack, manage and cast your spells at the right time, control the power squares, and of course, protect your leader piece. This takes us to puzzle combat. You can think of puzzle combat as a combination of a color matching game and Mortal Kombat. The object of the game is to match as many same colored pieces on your board and eliminate them with a matching breaker piece. Doing so dumps those pieces on your opponent's puzzle, making him have to deal with them. The more pieces you have to manage, the more full your puzzle gets. The first player to stack his pieces to the top of his puzzle loses. Sound simple enough? With the additional rules we've thrown in, it really gets interesting. Before the match starts, players pick their MK characters, just like they would in a fighting game. Each character has his own unique special move that actually affects the gameplay. Some of these moves are defensive, eliminating pieces from your puzzle, while other moves are offensive, dumping pieces onto your opponent's puzzle. These moves can be executed when your super meter fills. Occasionally, a special piece called a bomb will fall in your puzzle. The bomb is very powerful. When it touches a piece on your puzzle, it will eliminate all the pieces of that same color. Of course, this game wouldn't be Mortal Kombat without fatalities, so we've managed to incorporate them into our puzzle game as well.
Wins. Fatality.
Mortal Kombat Deception is the first fighting game available online for both the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. And this time around, by popular demand, every character has 2 fatalities.
Finish her!
is in us all.
Rated M for mature. It will summon you. It will challenge you. It will consume you. Mortal Kombat Deception online for PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
In 1992, Mortal Kombat changed the world of video gaming forever. The use of digitized actors, compelling characters, and gruesome graphic effects all helped to create a phenomena that took arcades by storm.
A lot of people don't realize that the game was originally meant to be, a quick project. I think if Mortal Kombat did not have any blood in it, it probably wouldn't have had the kind of success it did.
Fatality.
Mortal Kombat 1 exceeded everybody's expectations. I don't think anybody was expecting it to be, to become as big as it did.
In 1993, Mortal Kombat 2 was unleashed upon a sea of bloodthirsty fans. More characters, more moves, more blood.
All the fans of the first game had high expectations for the second one.
Kung Lao. Johnny Cage. Reptile.
All eyes were on us, whereas before we kind of snuck up on everybody.
But the fans would still not be satisfied. 1995 saw the release of Mortal Kombat 3 with a diverse cast of characters, crisp graphics, and an intricate combo system.
Reality's boring. Nobody wants to pay for reality. We take everything beyond reality to the point where it's, the only way to do this is through our video game.
Mortal Kombat was unstoppable. New technology made for broad advances in video games, and Mortal Kombat took full advantage. In 1998, Combat, now in 3D, took on a whole new dimension.
The Mortal Kombat 4 Road Tour is something that's never been done before in the video game world.
I remember these big trucks driving around with Mortal Kombat 4 logo on them.
MK4's release was again marked by controversy.
It definitely wasn't the only game with that kind of violence and blood. There were games that actually surpassed it. It was just the only game that really was, hugely popular and had the violence and blood.
MK4 would be the last version of Mortal Kombat to be released in arcades, and fans eagerly awaited the series' next chapter on home systems.
Twisty 3D! The fact that it sold in the millions was really kind of like a bit of an attestament to it. I guess its staying power, I suppose.
Feeding off the power of next-generation systems, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance brought the franchise exclusively to home systems and expanded its mythology.
This is easily the biggest production of all the Mortal Kombat games. You could take, take the work of 3 of the previous games, put them together, and you have about what it took to make this game.
We really wanted to make sure the martial arts was authentic in Deadly Alliance.
In this game, we can make things look a little more real with the clavicles and neck bones that we didn't used to have in Mortal Kombat 4.
The future for Mortal Kombat? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Now, waiting to be unleashed, Mortal Kombat Deception will deliver more of the carnage fans crave in 2004.
2 years ago, I was asked what the future of Mortal Kombat was. And at the time, I don't think I really was sure what Deception was going to be.
Mortal Kombat Deception is by far the most ambitious Mortal Kombat we've ever done.
Yeah, Ed had a master plan that, okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. Laid it all out.
Mortal Kombat Deception is probably different in what we are defining this game to be. Our goal was to really do something unexpected, and that's really along the lines of these different gameplay modes.
In Deception, I'm most excited about how many old characters we're bringing back. We're bringing back characters that people have been asking for quite a while now. But I think all the characters actually look better than ever. We learned a lot in DA.
But I think a really, really cool difference is the online experience. The online thing brings back the arcade feel. This time you're playing against a real human being. I was part of the first Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 1, and back then there was just 4 of us. It was 4 people that made Mortal Kombat 1 in less than a year.
Now the team is just mammoth. It's necessary. Everybody on the team is needed.
People have no idea how much effort goes into creating a video game in this day and age.
The game now is so much deeper than back then.
This game is about a bunch of guys beating each other up, and magic and monsters, and fun, excitement.
I think Deception is a good indication of what we're going to be doing with Mortal Kombat in the future. It's kind of like the first step in many of expanding what Mortal Kombat means.
Over the last decade, Mortal Kombat has become a legend in the arena of fighting games that will be here for years to come.
Get over here!
Yeah, Scorpion's always been my favorite character, and he still is to this day.
Fight!
Playing Scorpion's cool. I mean, you get to be kind of just a little bit crazy, a little bit nuts. It's like, you're a ninja. How cool is that? I've played him in Sub-Zero Mythologies. I did some motion capture for Scorpion, and I played him during some of our live events for Mortal Kombat.
I am Scorpion. You killed me in cold blood.
As a player, if I get a chance, I'll always pick Scorpion. His whole play style, it just kind of suits my style of gameplay. I'm proud to have been part of the Scorpion legacy throughout the years.
The spear move has always been one of my favorite moves in all the Mortal Kombat games, and I don't think we've ever been able to top it.
Get over here!
Hello, my name is John Parrish. I am Jax!
Fatality.
Being the big guy, I was using raw strength and mental attitude. Be energetic, to be powerful, to actually portray myself as a hero, as I would look at it.
John Parrish was great to work with. He was really one of the easiest guys to work with in terms of being able to do all the moves and all of the special attacks.
I am the real Jax.
We worked with him throughout Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3, and he did a lot of promotional stuff with us. It was really great.
When he first put the makeup on my arms, it took him 6 hours to do total.
Outstanding.
Actually, it feels great to be part of the Mortal Kombat legacy.
Shang Tsung, he is the symbol of evil for Mortal Kombat. He's always around. I think he's been in almost every game. His job in Mortal Kombat 1 was to win Earthrealm for Shao Kahn.
Shang Tsung's stance I thought was really unusual, and it was kind of like this. Very different, very unique from all the rest of the characters in the game. And
Shao Kahn wanted to take over Earthrealm, and through the Mortal Kombat tournament, he was going to do it.
Shang Tsung was probably one of my favorite characters in the series. He always kind of had the sinister edge, more so than some of the other characters, a bit more regal kind of feel, and that's what I tried to capitalize on in redesigning him for Deadly Alliance.
In Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Shang Tsung teams up with the sorcerer Quan Chi, and the both of them not only kill Liu Kang, but they kill Shao Kahn as well.
Shang Tsung wins. Fatality.
My name's Rich DeVizio. I played Kano in Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 3.
We wanted to make a guy who was kind of half cyborg, half human, and so we put this metal plate on his face. Again, we bought something at a costume store and put makeup on and attached it. And the guy who played Kano, this guy Rich DeVizio, he brought it to a new level. He gave him his character. He just really became Kano in a sense.
It becomes a part of me.
When I played Kano, I actually felt that it was kind of a showcase for myself to become larger than life with this character. I really believe that I can be this guy, and it worked out very well. It's not hard for me to embrace a character and become it. One of the favorite moves that I like that Kano did was his fatality, and it goes a little something like this. Kano wins!
Mileena was created because we needed to stretch the memory in our game again. We were out of memory. We had a cool female character in Katana, and we wanted to kind of double up on that and give her, you know, special moves and make an anti-Katana in a sense. And so that's kind of where Mileena came from. And so then with Mileena, we had also introduced Baraka, so we wanted to make a tie with her because Baraka was a really bad character. So underneath the mask, Katana is really beautiful, and underneath Mileena's mask is, you know, these really nasty teeth that were originally never on the costume, but we would just kind of draw them in on her fatalities.
Mileena wins. My name is John Turk, and I'm Sub-Zero.
You know, the freeze move in the first Mortal Kombat really came about because I was always a big fan of kind of setting up the player for a free hit.
We walk over to the game and, you know, they're playing Mortal Kombat 3 and, you know, the kid's playing Sub-Zero and I'm standing right behind him and he doesn't even realize that the guy he's playing is right behind him.
Let's get something straight. I am not a ninja. I am Lin Kuei. Scorpion was a ninja.
My martial arts style defined the character of Sub-Zero based on the way I move, the way I kick, the way I punch, the way I turn, the way I move my leg when I do sweeps.
My name's Rich DeVizio, and I played Baraka in Mortal Kombat 2.
We were trying to come up with characters, you know, and we were going to costume stores and looking around and found a mask of this monster.
There was this very tight mask that I had to wear.
You know, painted it up, you know, kind of made it all butchered up his face.
And I just remember tons and tons of water just coming down my neck.
And we took like, you know, fake nails and put them on for his teeth and spray painted them silver.
This mask was skin tight.
And those made up his teeth. And so people don't realize that, you know, this really scary creature is made up of, you know, a mask and some fake fingernails that were bought in a supermarket.
That shoot was unbelievable.
Baraka hasn't been in many Mortal Kombat games, but he's been a fan favorite for a long time.
Baraka wins.
I think that Nightwolf is your quintessential Native American icon. Just a strong, proud, person with pride. He's got honor, has rules, but at the same time, he is definitely no pushover. Well, the Nightwolf costume looked a lot better on the drawing than I think it did on me, but we made do. Nightwolf's fatality was holding his tomahawk up to the sky, channeling light into it, right into his enemy for his final blow.
My name is Anthony Marquez, and I played Kung Lao. After the first Mortal Kombat, the creators wanted to introduce another Shaolin monk type character. They had heard about me, and I seemed right for the part.
Tony was probably one of the best martial artists that we worked with. You could see his character, the kicks are really high and they're authentic, so he lended a lot just because of all of his experience with martial arts.
So in terms of his attitude, the way he moved, the tilt of the hat, all of that stemmed from what I thought Kung Lao should be. The favorite part of my personality always stemmed from the hat. You put on the costume and you're still just a person in costume. But once that hat goes on, it's almost like being Clint Eastwood in an old Western movie with the brim of the hat hiding your eyes, and when you slowly tilt that head up, once you make eye contact, that's Kung Lao. It's no longer Anthony Marquez, it's Kung Lao.
Shao Kahn was the big bad guy in Mortal Kombat.
Feel the power of Shao Kahn.
Well, Shao Kahn is kind of like the top of the ladder in terms of big bad guys in the Mortal Kombat series.
Prepare to die.
He was really the boss's boss in a sense, and he was basically the guy that everybody was ultimately trying to stop in terms of his invasion of Earth in Mortal Kombat 3. And he also had this charge move that would attack you with, and a lot of players didn't realize that all you had to do was duck underneath the charge move and then you got a free uppercut. Once they discovered that, he became a lot more manageable of a character to fight against, but until they discovered that, he seemed almost undefeatable.
Shao Kahn was killed in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, but nobody really ever dies in Mortal Kombat. I believe Kenshi's name in Japanese means sword saint. His storyline from his past is that he used to travel Japan and challenge experienced swordsmen and warriors just to defeat them so he could become the best in Japan. Eventually he lets his ego get the best of him, and so Shang Tsung gets him to open up this tomb of Kenshi's ancestors, which blinds Kenshi. Shang Tsung then absorbs these warrior souls and becomes stronger, and he leaves Kenshi for dead. Kenshi then realizes what has just happened, and now he's got a vendetta against Shang Tsung. His sword that he finds there in the tomb is actually his ancestor's sword.
Fight!
You would assume he's disabled because he doesn't have certain abilities, but then we compensated it by giving him other abilities, and that kind of makes him that much more interesting of a character. So he's one of the strongest characters in Deadly Alliance, and you wouldn't think so having a character being blind. Kenshi basically has the ability to propel his opponents in various directions. Lift them up over his head and slam them on the ground, propel them behind him, push them forward. So it's really like he's a very powerful distance player where you have the ability to attack your opponent even when you're at great distances.
This place, it feels dark.
As dark as every heart that inhabits it.
Shujinko is kind of our next generation Liu Kang.
Through the conquest mode, you learn about Shujinko's past.
He lives in the MK universe, meets up with all the characters, and eventually trains to become a warrior.
It's kind of fun walking around, and you meet with Sub-Zero or an ancestor of Sub-Zero.
I am Princess Kitana. If you are the champion of the Elder Gods, perhaps you can aid us in our struggle.
When you finish it, you see him at age, 60 or something like that, and that's when he is basically unlocked in the arcade game.
Shujinko wins.
Everything from 20-year-old Shujinko up to old man Shujinko is voiced by Max Crawford.
Younger Shujinko is just a little variation of my actual voice.
Good to see you again, Damashi.
It was fun doing the old man.
Oh, Master Boraicho, crack the dojo window.
My first impression of seeing myself in the game, I was ecstatic because I knew it was me. I thought it was just awesome.
God of Thunder and Lightning, that just kind of became what his thing was. And I think that was really kind of what inspired a lot of his special moves, was the fact that he was a god.
In real life, I am a martial arts expert. I've been doing various arts for probably 22 plus years.
I'm wearing this hat. Got that on. Got that action working.
Yeah, the hat is gone. It was destroyed with one of the falls that Carlos took, and I don't think we've seen it ever since.
Do I have the hat? No, I wish I did. That's probably the one thing I wish I had. I feel really thankful to be part of the Mortal Kombat legacy, and it's changed my life incredibly.
Smoke originally came from our memory limitations that we've had in doing arcade games. And just as Scorpion and Sub-Zero were using the same images and getting more mileage out of them by changing the color, when we were out of memory for Mortal Kombat 2, I always liked putting in secret characters in the game at the last minute that nobody knows about. That was kind of like the origin of Smoke and Jade, where they were, just kind of like the alternate colored versions of Sub-Zero and Mileena and Katana.
He had a lot of cool moves as a robot. He had this grappling hook that would come out of his chest, and just had a lot of cool moves, which made him a player favorite. We brought Smoke back for Deception just because people have been asking about him for a while now. It was funny because a lot of fans like the ninja version, a lot of fans like the robot version, so we thought it would be a good idea to bring back both.
Every one of our characters in Deception has kind of two costumes, and so for Smoke we decided we're going to have him be a normal ninja like people had seen him before in Mortal Kombat 2, and then also his Mortal Kombat 3 persona, which is kind of like the cybernetic ninja. Players can pick which one they want to play as.
Reptile wins. Fatality.
Reptile actually was the character that I came up with driving back to work from lunch on a Saturday. We had seen how much we got away with in terms of Scorpion and Sub-Zero changing ninja palettes, and I really wanted a super secret hidden feature in Mortal Kombat 1, and came up with these really odd set of circumstances to make Reptile appear. It was rare enough that people would say that they had seen him and nobody would believe him, and so it worked out perfectly.
I am Reptile. I talk like this. And then I have to go like this.
Yeah, Reptile, the infamous Green Man. It was another one of those characters where they swapped some of the images from one character to another. I saw those moves that they told me to do that were for other characters, like for example the Force Ball, when I put my hands out and then a big ball comes rolling out. That was for Reptile, but here I had no clue at that time.
Reptile wins. Fatality.
The favorite character that I played in Mortal Kombat was definitely Quan Chi.
Do not fail! We have toyed with the ninja long enough.
Quan Chi was a really interesting character because he was created for a game called Mortal Kombat Mythologies.
You are responsible for this, sorcerer!
Which was an adventure game that was being produced at the same time as we were doing Mortal Kombat 4. And so we thought it would be interesting to have him make an appearance in Mortal Kombat 4 as well as Mythologies, even though those two games happen in completely different parts of the Mortal Kombat timeline.
Quan Chi is one of the most mystifying characters to me. We really don't know what his origins are other than he's from the Netherrealm and he's part of the Brotherhood of Shadow. Who knows how old he is? He could be as old as the Netherrealm itself. But he is definitely evil. He is definitely an evil guy. I think of him as the greatest sorcerer in the Mortal Kombat universe. I think of him as being even more powerful than Shang Tsung. Rich DeVizio was hilarious as Quan Chi. He really played the part well. To me, he is Kano, and he is also Quan Chi. He's both of those characters. You can't look at Quan Chi and not think Rich.
And now, on to Hollywood. The makeup was unbelievable, and I was actually able to act a little bit in full motion videos, which was very exciting for me.
I remember that the impetus behind the cabinet design on MK4 was the reintroduction of the series back then. They wanted it to stand out in the midst of the arcades. As such, they wanted to push the sides as something that you could not miss. So we did some shots in the studio, had Rich come in, put fire behind him, big old Quan Chi face, no one can miss it. And that's what ended up happening.
The first time I saw myself on the side of the Mortal Kombat 4 arcade stand-up, I was just blown away.
That chapter in Mortal Kombat 4 was the Quan Chi show in a sense.
Do not fail.
Jade was the third in the series of characters that was derived from existing images. Jade was a female ninja type character like Melina and Katana were, and she was kind of like an evil version of Katana in a sense.
Jade is a childhood friend of Katana, which probably makes her thousands of years old, because Katana is thousands of years old. The approach we've taken with Jade in this game, in Mortal Kombat Deception, is that she's more of the stealthy ninja type of character. She's the one that sneaks around and gets information, you know, and carries out covert activities. And I kind of like that about her. She's about getting things done, and she's very loyal.
We wanted to give her something that separated her from Katana Melina, so we gave her the staff weapon that was her weapon in Mortal Kombat 3. Not many characters had weapons in Mortal Kombat 3. That was really what we wanted to do to separate her from Katana Melina. For Deception, our goal was to really say, let's bring back the nostalgia characters. And obviously Sindel, Nightwolf, Baraka, Melina, all of those are in that category. And so we had to bring them back.
Fight!
The wig that we had in Mortal Kombat 3 for Sindel didn't have that much hair. We did a lot of After Effects touch-ups. She had this ability to scream at super loud volumes, and that would stun the opponent and give you kind of a free hit.
Sindel wins.
Well, I think Katana was really one of the favorite characters from Mortal Kombat 2. I mean,
She was a new character. She had ridiculous combos that people, came up with that I had not even thought of. So when I saw people doing katana combos, in the corner, you knew there was something special because people were taking the game in a direction that you didn't even think of. Well, Katana was similar to Mileena in that had a limited amount of memory than the Mortal Kombat 2 machine, and we wanted to get 12 characters out. So Katana and Mileena are really kind of the female version of Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Katana wins. Flawless victory.
There were actually 2 Goro models made, and one was used for the actual game and it was posed and, changed so much that it kind of fell apart over time. And I have one of the original Goro models that's stashed away at home.
Flawless victory.
Kabal first made his appearance in MK3. He was originally designed as kind of this nomad, sand person kind of character.
Again, we really wanted to create a character that seemed to have a handicap of sorts in terms of he had this breathing apparatus that kept him alive. He still had these incredible powers that none of the other characters had.
He had a lot of cool moves. He had this dash, which he would run past a character, spinning him around, and then he could pull off some combos on him.
And everybody kind of liked his tornado move where he would run by the opponent and then they would spin like a top and they kind of get a free hit on them. Kabal also had these hook sword weapons that one of the few characters in the 2D games that actually had a weapon in the game. So that kind of made him stand out. He was actually one of the characters that was considered almost too powerful in Mortal Kombat 3. And we had to kind of tone him down for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
For Deception, we finally had the chance to bring Kabal back the way we originally intended him to be. We gave him the long trench coat, gave him a backpack. That was part of the original design. But back in the old days of digitizing, we couldn't really handle that. A long coat would have gotten in the way of the character's moves.
In the 2D games, we were really limited to the costumes that we could build because it was digitized graphics. And with the 3D games, we build the costumes on the computer so we can really do whatever we want.
Kabal's always been one of my favorite characters, so I was totally happy to bring him back for Deception, give him the classic design that we intended.
Sector and Cyrax were unique in that they were mechanical and they were robotic.
A funny story about Cyrax and Sector was that originally we could not think of a name for him. So Tony Goski came up with the name Ketchup and Mustard, ketchup being Sector and mustard being Cyrax.
Cyrax was one of the many characters portrayed by Sal DeVita. When Sal was playing Cyrax, I felt the worst for him because he had this helmet on that I remember him sweating a lot inside, and he had just unbelievable tolerance for discomfort.
The costume for Sector and Cyrax was really heavy. It was a lot of plastic armor and plastic chest plates, but then a custom-made helmet, but hot, uncomfortable, you know, couldn't breathe, couldn't hear anything, but somehow we made it through it. It was great.
Cyrax always had a lot of cool moves, a lot of cool gadgets. His chest opens up and bombs come out, nets come out. In Deadly Alliance, he had one of my favorite fatalities with the big claw, you know, slams the guy down.
Finish her. Johnny Cage wins. Flawless victory. Fatality. Johnny Cage wins. Fatality.
Johnny Cage was kind of like our version of a Hollywood action star.
He's the one character not to take too seriously. He's not a brooding hero. He's a, you know, hey kind of hero. You know, he's a Hollywood guy.
You know, a lot of flair, a lot of pizzazz, still very skilled martial artist, but put in the situation with all these noble Shaolin monks and Lin Kuei ninjas.
Johnny Cage, to me, is almost like the comic relief of Mortal Kombat. He's the actor, so he doesn't take this all as seriously as a Liu Kang or a Raiden or Kung Lao will take it.
I guess not many people know that the Tanya character is named after my sister, who's named Tanya, and as well as my other sister's name is Sonia.
Tanya is the daughter of an Edenian ambassador, but she has sided with the bad guys in previous games. She turned on Liu Kang in her ending in Mortal Kombat 4, that she, you know, sided with Shinnok, you know, and she sided with the Deadly Alliance even at one point. Now she's siding with the Dragon King, not so much because she wanted to, but because she was almost forced into it. She's an enemy of Jade and Kitana and Sindel, you know, because she's a traitor. She's a traitor to Edenia, she's a traitor to the realms, and she's, you know, not a good person.
Tanya has always had her boomerang projectile move, which is one of the more outrageous projectile moves in the game. And we're giving her that boomerang move in Deception again. And in addition to that, she has a weapon. So she has a bigger arsenal of attacks than she did in the previous games.
Let's finish him!
Carrie was easily one of the best people we've worked with in terms of actors playing the characters.
Yes, I still have the Sonya costume. Every once in a while, I'll bring it out.
I'll absolutely see Sonya again in future Mortal Kombat games.
I would love to play Sonya again.
Finish him! Baraka wins. Fatality. Finish him! Yuna wins. Fatality. Finish her! Nightwolf wins. Fatality. Finish him! Noob Smoke wins. Fatality. Finish him! Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Sentenced to death, a condemned man awaits his fate. Until...
Whoa! Inmate, back in your cell. Everything's under control.
all hell breaks loose. In a place where nothing is what it seems. You must choose your path and uncover the truth behind The Suffering. Out now on PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Yo, this is my house. But before I was king of the court, I had nothing. I took it one-on-one from the streets to the mansions of the NBA superstars.
First I schooled LeBron and Melo. Then took down AI and T-Mac. Dropped KG and Shaq. But yo, before you can have the card, the crib, and the crew, you gotta have the moves. NBA ballers.
Life as an undercover narcotics officer isn't easy. Sometimes the temptation is too much to bear. And the filthy, crime-ridden streets get to you after a while, if you know what I mean. Each day it gets tougher and tougher to walk a straight line. All too often that line gets blurred, it gets butchered, and I find myself asking, should I walk the line or should I cross it?
Spill it, punk.
Who's gonna make me? Doing like you.
What are you talking about? Answer me.
Agent Brzezinski, the Dark Squad.
Jack, I don't know why you did it, but we can fix this. You gotta put the gun down. I live in the streets, man. I'm coming with heat.
You have the right to shut the hell up. Listen, now you can cool off in jail.
The tides of history have left me little choice. And once again, science will require the sacrifice of the insignificant.
I thought this place was quarantined. You gotta be kidding. The hell is that?
Major Bridges, HAS Team Bravo reporting for duty. Have you been able to establish communication with HAS Team Delta?
Captain, you and your crew need to suit up now. You're going in.
What's going on?
Pull back!
Captured.
led by a powerful Psi terrorist organization. Your mind
You feel your true self.
has been erased.
You fear to trust your own memories.
It is time to discover
You have the power to stop the General.
your true self. Engage in strategic combat, where your mind is the ultimate weapon, using telekinesis. Pyrokinesis. Mind drain. Mind control. PsyOps, the Mind Gate Conspiracy. There is a man proclaimed hero for slaying evil and threatening the gods.
You really think you can defeat me?
Though he won his battle, the woman he loved was lost.
Love you.
Yuri Hyuga has returned and seeks vengeance for his suffering. In his search for redemption, he'll befriend a young woman.
Look at that!
Whose passion to save her country will take them on a dangerous journey.
Whenever he beats a monster, he takes their souls and then can fuse with them.
Together they will face the ultimate evil. A secret society so powerful, it threatens to destroy the world as they know it.
Behold! The age of darkness is nigh!
Soon my demon servants will bring death to all of Europe.
You're insane.
Now, only the power of the Judgment Ring and the help of those they trust will give them the strength they need to battle almighty forces and save the world.
What do you really think a puny human like you can do, huh? Let's go.
Midway presents the return of a hero. Shadowheart's Covenant. The quest for justice continues.
years ago, the Leandri Corporation started the championship. A brutal competition of combat and mayhem. This year, the blood sport has been reinvented, rebuilt from the ground up. The new championship introduces a new breed of competitor. Finish him. Skilled at ranged weapon combat. Headshot. Possessing never-before-seen deadly melee skills. Mega kill. Some with incredible agility. Others with extraordinary powers. Killing spree.
Nervous?
Fight. This year, the championship moves to all new venues and introduces newly refined weaponry. Rebuilt from the ground up for the ultimate Xbox Live experience and featuring special guest appearances from another realm. Unreal Championship 2. Unstoppable.
Or maybe cause she heard that vibe on the floor. Right about the night in the city, got the snow. If not, I gotta move on to the next floor.